Hello there and welcome to today's video, which is an early Halloween tutorial for some little jack-o'-lanterns, but this time they're made from turnips. And in case you didn't know, turnips were actually the original jack-o'-lanterns, and I believe they originated in Ireland, so there's your fun Halloween fact of the day. So yeah, I've made 3 today, and they're essentially just an experiment in character design, so I hope you enjoy them, and yeah, let's go see how I made them. So to get things started, I need a couple of colours of clay. So I've got a lilac and a cream, which should represent the turnip quite well, and I want to make a graduation between the two, which is also known as the Skinner blends, named after its inventor. So I've just placed one on top of the other, and I want to make a rectangle shape and then cut down the centre at an angle really. And now I need to just pull apart the clay if it wants to come apart. I should have used water actually, just a little spray, but well, not to worry. So I just need to match up the lilacs together and the creams together, and then just go over with my acrylic roller just to try and get it to kind of stick together really, before I then put it through my pasta machine. And if you don't have a pasta machine, you could always make yours just in one singular colour. So it's just a case of putting it through and folding in half and putting it through again. And then I'll just keep repeating that until I eventually end up with a colour graduation that I'm happy with. So now what I basically need to do is to just roll the little sheets of clay quite carefully so that I'm not going to lose the graduation really, so just keep pressing down and eventually end up with a kind of rounded shape. And now I'm going to add in some just line details really with my needle tool here, and I have a list of the tools that I use down below in description. So I'll just keep building that up, and I'll just pop in a little piece of the cream clay at the top and just add in some more detail with my needle tool here, and it's certainly starting to resemble a turnip now. So I want to make my turnip into a little character, so I've got my medium-sized ball tool here, and I'm going to create 3 different indentations here and pop in some black clay for the eye sockets. And I've got more of a flattened piece of clay here just for the mouth. And just press that in further with my ball tool and the eye sockets as well. And now I can add in some little eyeballs, and I'm just using white clay here, but I thought afterwards I could have used some glow-in-the-dark clay that would be really nice, so have to remember that for any future jack-o'-lanterns I make. And I'll pop in some little teeth, and you can add as many or as few as you like. And I'm going to go for a fairly zany look on the eyes on this one. And to add a little more character, I'll just pop on a couple of eyebrows. And some little cheeks as well with some fairly dark purple clay here. And my first little turnip is all done. So I'm moving on to turnip number 2, and I want this to be a bit more representative of the old turnip jack-o'-lanterns, so I'll just pop in a couple of eyes, and I want to go for a much wider mouth on this one, so I'll just keep using my ball tool like so, just to map out the mouth shape. And I'll just keep pressing in just to really add that definition. So that's really starting to come together now. So I'll pop in some eye sockets as before. And I've got a fairly flat piece of black clay here, which should hopefully fit into the mouth quite well. Yep, there we go. So I'll just flatten that down with my ball tool and pop in some eyes. Incidentally, I do have a playlist of a fair few polymer clay Halloween themed tutorials if you're interested, so I'll leave that down below for you to go and take a look. So I want to give my little turnip a load of little teeth, so I'll just keep building those up with tiny little balls of clay. So that's coming together quite nicely now, I think. And it's certainly a little more spooky looking. And at this point I added in some teeny tiny pieces of the lilac clay into the eyes, but I decided against it in the end. But it's always worth experimenting with character design. So I'll just pop on a couple of cheeks on this one, and my second turnip jack-o'-lantern is all done. So once the other two were all done, I had basically a spare bit of clay, so I thought I'd make a teeny tiny jack-o'-lantern, and I wanted to go a bit more traditional with this one, so I'm just using my scalpel to cut out some triangular eyes, and it's a little bit fiddly. And once those were done, I thought I'd go for a really jagged mouth. Just again with my scalpel, like so. So that's almost done, and once I'm happy with the placements, then it's just a case of pulling out the clay, and it can be quite tricky to pull the clay out without damaging the mouth itself, so just a bit of a warning really. So once I'm happy with that, I've just got my little ball tool here just to basically flatten down the back of the mouth area, just to make it look a bit neater. And now I can start adding in some teeny tiny pieces of black clay. I think this is just the easiest way of doing it really. And once the black clay is in situ, I can then use a small ball tool here just to really push that down. And I thought I'd give it a nose at this point, so I'm just going to delve in here with my scalpel. And at this point I decided I wanted to make it a little more cute really, so I've just added on a couple of eyeballs here and some pupils, and I think it just really evidences how easy it is to play around with character design. You know, it's just a case of working out what kind of elements you want to use and remove them if you don't like them, add some more in, and hopefully end up with a result that you're happy with. So now my little jack-o'-lanterns are ready to bake. And at this point you'll need to refer to your own brand of Polymer Clay's baking instructions. And here they are, all done, and I'm really happy with them. It's just nice to have a play around with jack-o'-lanterns that aren't orange for a change. I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, give it a like if you got this far. And I'm actually going to take next week off, so I'll see you the following week, and no doubt with something Halloweeny again. So take care in the meantime, and I'll see you then.